Hi, everyone. This is Key. Welcome to our gathering, our virtual lunch and learn. Food will be served. It's in your refrigerator. Just turn around, make a left turn. It's right there. That sandwich you were ready for, just wait a few minutes. Work with us, then you can have that sandwich. Um, but I'm so glad to have all of you. I was talking to my friend Bernadette. We're talking about business. Remember, we're in the business of business, so we have to be prepared mentally. And I was sharing with her some ideas about how our agents could leverage this tough situation. Don't, I mean, there is nothing to ignore about what's happening right now. It is really national. It is making a lot of people struggle with their livelihood, with their families. So, what I want to make sure I bring to your attention is this idea. Behind every crisis, there's an opportunity. There are things that we can do today so that when our business becomes normal, which it will, and by the way, some of it is still normal right now, we are the ones who reap the rewards. So behind every crisis, there's an opportunity. So I asked Bernadette to share with us some of her thoughts, some of the things that she's seen about the market, how to help our agents think about the business. I'm so glad to see you, my friend. How are you?
I am wonderful, Key. Thank you so much for doing this for us. I just love that you're always there. You're always, you're always ahead of everything that's happening, and you're constantly bringing that back to us, and we so appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
So, um, you know, I've been talking to like several other brokers, and just like we've been doing some masterminds and talking to agents, and you're absolutely right that there's opportunity in all markets. I actually started our brokerages during the recession, right at the beginning of the recession, and there were many people that made it through that recession, but it's because they didn't stick their head in the sand. They didn't like fold their cards and, bail out. They went to work and they found the opportunities that were in that market. So many things like one of my daughter's friends, he bought stock yesterday, and he only bought like I think it was like two shares, and made over $1,000 in one day. Like, even though our market's down, there's still opportunity. And then I saw a post today from Sharon Richardson, and it had a big tidal wave. And this is exactly how I've been feeling, is that, there may be a lag in business, but if you focus on that, you're going to get depressed. But if you look at what that creates, it is definitely opportunity, because we still have people that whatever's happening with their job, as soon as we bounce back from this, most people are still going to have their jobs after this, and then they'll be ready to buy. We went into this with a strong economy. We have a shortage of inventory in our area. Our demand was already high, but this is going to build up like people that still need to sell, people that need to buy. And what it's going to create is a tidal wave of opportunity when the doors open up again. And so, you can just watch that all, go by, or you can actively participate and prepare and start building your pipeline before the doors like swing wide open again. So I just want to encourage you guys. I know that, like he said, this is, not only national, but international. It's affecting everything, but it will pass. This isn't an economy type thing. It's having an effect on the economy, but this is like this is, it's the virus that's creating this, and it's temporary. And we've already seen that they're getting through it. It's just a matter of time. So now what we're going to talk about is, how do I use that time? Like, what do we do during that time so that we're poised and ready when the market rebounds back? So I'm going to turn it back over to Key. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernadette. And when you get a chance, go ahead and mute your mic. So, guys, I am so Glad to be together with you. So let's get some work done. So the first thing I want to start is with this quote. This quote says, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Get busy and take action. I didn't say it. It was said by Dale Carnegie. Most of you have probably read the books by Dale Carnegie, and they are very insightful about who we are as agents. So we have a choice. See, every day you wake up, you have a choice. In fact, every day you wake up, when you choose to wake up, you're actually making a statement. You're saying, I'm ready to go to work. Let's get something done. So here's the biggest challenge. And this is the part that is really worrying me a lot. A lot of you have done so well at building good business habits. You built some good momentum. You were ready in November, December, January. You were doing classes. You were preparing your business plan. You were working. You were like on track. You developed good habits. You knew when to wake up. You knew when to make your phone calls. And this hit. When this hit, it changed everything. And some of you, are reverting to old habits. Like, well, nothing is happening, man. What's the point of waking up at 6 a.m.? I don't need to. So I'm just going to watch Netflix until midnight and wake up when I feel like it. I don't have a job anyway. No one is buying, no one is selling. That's the mindset that's getting in your head. But what's good about you is your momentum. What's good about you are your good habits. And when you get glued on TV and you watch the changes of the news, you become depressed. Today they announced that the first week of unemployment submissions, there were 3.5, 3.25 million people asking for jobless claim. That's a huge number. We haven't seen that in many, many, many decades, if even centuries. So the question becomes, how much are you consuming of television? You know, the thing that also worries me? Some of our agents who are not doing a lot are starting to drink earlier than normal. It's like, hey man, what's the point of doing anything? Where's that beer? And guess what? It doesn't help you think clearly. We need to fight back. We must fight for our career. We must fight for our daily routines. We need to go back to normal, even though outside doesn't look normal. When you look at the streets, when you look at the highways, when you look at the beltway, nothing looks normal. You need to create a new normal. And that new normal may include having your kids at home and becoming a teacher. Now you're no longer just a realtor, you're now a teacher. And guess what? You're the one who has to stay centered. Is it easy? Absolutely not. Trust me, most of us are struggling through these times. But I can tell you this, sticking our head in the sand is not going to get us anywhere. We must choose to take action. We must go back to our normal routines. So let me give you a sense of it. Let me give you a few things that you can do immediately to get your business going. So I want you to focus on solutions. That's it. I want you to I want you to work in task forces. Maybe 3 or 4 of you get on the phone or get on Zoom. And here's what I want you to do. Imagine buyers, sellers, and renters. And then look up locally what the local community is offering as aid for buyers, sellers, and investors and renters. Look up what's happening at the county level. Look up what's happening at the state level, and then look up what's happening at the national level. Now, I know what you're saying to me, saying, Key, I need to worry about me, man. I'm not going to make any money. And I get it. I totally get it. But I can tell you this, worrying about something you cannot control will not get you anywhere. But if you could put together a document for people who cannot pay their rent, Does the city, the state, the county offer any kind of breathing room? Maybe you'll find that out. When you talk to them, you'll say, hey, relax. There's a program called this number at this time. They will help you with that problem. If it's a small business who doesn't know what to do, maybe just talking to you, they can put something together on how to apply for that SBA loan. What I need you to do starting today on a daily basis for 30 minutes, spend time not on TV, not on CNN, not on MSNBC, but scouring the internet to find out what local solutions are available for small business, for homeowners. Maybe a homeowner cannot pay his mortgage. What can we do? How can we help him? We're not going to make, you and I are not going to make any money from helping that homeowner who cannot pay his mortgage. But guess what? You doing that first will make you feel good, but that person will remember you in the future. Find out with the buyers, are there new programs? Has HUD done anything to facilitate the process of buying? Or the process of getting the maybe the down payment is not as much. Maybe it's not just the mortgage rates. So I want all of you to start putting together a task force of solutions. Don't tell them the bad news. That's not your job. Let CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News tell people the bad news. Your job is to decide what can we do for buyers, renters, and sellers. I promise you, when somebody is freaking out on the other line, and you're the one saying, no, I got you. Here's what you need to do right now. If you cannot pay your mortgage because you lost your job, there's this phone number at HUD, or there's this phone number in the state, or there's this phone number in Waldorf, or in Clinton, or in Lanham, whatever it is, who can help you with that. If you become solution driven, people will remember that you were calm, that you were professional, and that you engaged them. They will remember that, and that is your asset. That is what you are good at. So I'm going to show you this chart. Most of you have seen this chart. And, it's part of the course that when we do the 8-week course, this chart is very simple. This is the number of existing listings per year. That's all it is. Oh, there's our friend George joining us. So this chart here, I'm going to break it down for you so you can understand what it means. So the first thing you need to know, in 2018 and 2019, the last 2 years where we have listing statistics, there were 5.34 million listings per year. So there were about 5.34 million listings in 2019, and there were 5.34 million listings in 2018. By the way, that equates, because remember, a listing has another side, the buyer, so it's two transactions. It equates to about 11.5 million transaction sides per year when you include new construction and other things in that. So that gives you a sense of what we do per year as a nation. Would you like to know the average of the last 10 years? Well, the average of the last 10 years was 5 million. So if you took the last 10 years, we did 5 million listing each year on average. Up a little bit, down a little bit, but always around 5 million. That tells you that the market is fairly stable. Let me tell you about when the market crashed. And some of you were around when we saw that. Some of us had to live through that. By the way, some of us started businesses during that period. If you combine 2007, 2008, and 2009, the average number of listing only went down to 4.5 million. See, people thought during that period the listing went down to 0. No, they didn't. They were 4.5. So were their agents making money? Uh-huh. Did they have to retool and learn how to handle short sales, how to handle foreclosures? Did they have to learn that? Yes, they did. But it didn't go to 0. See, a lot of agents who are new to the business, they think right now there are no sales. Oh, there are sales. Trust me, there are. We just need to be clever on how we work them. Let me give you the predictions of this year. They were predicting that we will do 5.5 million listings in the United States this year. we're going to have a pullback, a slight pullback. The spring has been pushed a little bit. So the spring market usually starts now with a high wave. That wave has been pushed. But not only has it been pushed, that wave is going to go higher. Are you going to be ready when it comes to you? We're going to probably do 5.1, 5.2 million transactions. And some of you are going, really? And I'm like, I'm actually afraid we will do more. Because remember, there's a concept I talk about all the time. When life happens, real estate happens. You and I right now know that there are people who are dying, correct? Well, guess what? Do you think they have to make some decisions about real estate? I guarantee you they will. There are people who are saying, I'm done living in this area. I'm going to use this time to move or decide where to move. I was looking at the traffic of all of the people who are looking at real estate online. In the last 2 weeks, it went up by 30%. Let me say that again. In the last 2 weeks, the number of people looking at real estate who were, you would think no one is looking at real estate because they're staying at home. They're watching TV. They are actually looking at real estate. We need to be the one they talk to. Because, George, if you and I are talking to them right now, we're going to get a chance when they make the decision in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks about what to do. Hey, I don't want to live in New York anymore. I want to move to the DC area, or I want to move to Virginia, or I want to move from this area to somewhere else. We want them to talk to you. So you need to understand that in your bubble at home, you may think that things have stopped. They have not. But here's another reality. And this one stings a little bit. I'm sorry. In the United States, every year, 250,000 agents come in, another 250,000 come out. They're flush in and flush out. We always have new people. Well, guess what? This year, we're probably going to lose 350,000. It is what it is. A lot of agents who are on the brink, they're not doing enough. They do about 3 or 4 deals a year. They decide, hey, this is too hard. Maybe I'll do something else. But there are a few of you who are going to go, no, as people leave this market, I'm going to be the one sticking around to make sure I collect my part of it. So here's a truth that stings, but is true. This economic downturn is making strong agents have to redouble their commitment to their career. I see it in brokers like George and Bernadette. They are not sitting at home going, all right, well, whatever, I throw my hands up. No, they are opening offices. They are talking to agents. They're hiring agents. They're working their business. But there's another side to this. It confronts what I call the dabblers. We have people in real estate what we call dabblers. They're on the side, really. They do something else in real estate. Those have to decide, do I have what it takes to stay in real estate? Here's the bottom line. The 80% of real estate that is being done by 20% is not changing. It will remain the same. The question I have for you, what are you going to do? Are you all in? Is this your gig? Are you in love with this business so much that you can see it is coming? It is coming to us. We don't have to be afraid of it. We need to be ready for it. So let me give you some realities. Some of your would-be buyers and sellers are scared. They are frozen by fear, and it's understandable. The best thing you can do, you, the agent, is to stay calm. Stay strategic. And engage. Talk to them. When they talk to you, even if they don't make a decision, guess what happened? You're dissipating the fear. They're realizing you got your act together, therefore I don't have to freak out. If you're not freaking out, therefore I don't have to freak out. See, fear, when you talk about fear, it dissipates. Remember when you were a kid and you were in your bed and you were scared that there were monsters under the bed? And George came in with the flashlight and showed you that underneath the bed there were no monsters. It did help a little bit to know that, that fear that you had about that illusion monster is not there. Well, when you talk to your clients, you bring them to a calm. Can you fix all their problems? No. Can you listen to them? Absolutely. Can you be the solution provider for them to do something? Yes, you can. Many of them just need to absorb this period. We have about 2 to 3 weeks of high fear, and then it's going to shift. This moment we live in right now is going to start shifting and changing, and we're going to have a new normal. Are people hurt right now by losing their job? Absolutely. Are there things we can do to help them? Some we can, some we cannot. But your job is to focus on your career. Because these people have real estate needs, you need your act together. You need to be grounded. So what are some actions? Focus on your mindset. There's anything I can tell you, start reading good books. You know that book that you bought? Or you know that book that Bernadette or maybe George gave you that said this would be a good book for you? Grab it. Every morning, don't turn on the TV. Read that book. You know that project you've been working on, thinking about? You know that listing presentation you always wanted to put together, but you never had time for it? Isn't this the time to put that listing presentation together? You know that farming strategy you were working on? You know that postcard you were designing that you wanted to send to the neighborhood, but you never had time? Maybe this is not the time to send it, but maybe this is the time to design it. You know that YouTube channel? You always wanted to add videos on your YouTube, and you wanted to grow your YouTube and get people to follow you and get people to subscribe to your YouTube channel? This is the time to do it. You know that Facebook page that you built that you want people to go to it so you can grow your influence? This is the time to do it. You know that thing called your database? You know, that CRM that you always wanted to clean up a bit and call some people and clean it up? This is the time to do it. There is so much to do. To watch TV all day long and be depressed is not the appropriate action. If you run out of homework, I'll give you plenty. I have tons. You will be working all day long and say, "Key, I need more time. What else should I do?" You have a checklist. You have a to-do list. You got to work on it. You know that blog you've been thinking about? You haven't blogged enough? This is the time to work on it. But if there is anything you can do, engage, engage, engage. You need to be part of the solution. And part of the solution is to talk to your people. Some of them are scared. They only need to talk to you. You may not fix their problems, but sometimes listening to you, being grounded, will help them. Select your news sources properly. If you told me at the end of the day, I watch a half hour or so of MSNBC or Fox News, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But if it's on all day long, if you have that thing all day long, it is messing with you. It's making you more depressed than you should be. Focus on local news. See, what I want to focus on is what are we doing locally? Where are the hand sanitizers locally? Where are the toilet paper locally? What is the local news talking about? Where can you go and get food? Is it safe to order food? Any kind of solution that you know can help people locally, especially at the city level, at the town level, the neighborhood level, the school district level. Then move out to the county. Find out what your county is bringing as solutions. Then look up to your state. What is your state doing to help people in need? You want to have that information so ready. I want you to imagine this. I want you to put together a 10-page document that has all of the solutions. If you're a buyer, if you're a seller, if you're a renter, if you're an investor, if you're a homeowner. Now, you may not be able to do it by yourself, but you know what I can see? I can see George calling his task force, like David and all of his agents, and say, "Okay, we're going to do a Zoom call, and we're going to divide and conquer, and we're going to put a document how we can help our local neighbors survive the COVID-19. and we're going to put that document. This is the number for this. This is the number to go be tested. This is the number where you can ask for help. This is the number to apply for an SBA loan. Put all of these things together. Then now what you are, you're not part of the solution. You're not part of the problem. You're not providing people hope rather than providing them with fear and anxiety. By the way, fear and anxiety are easy to sell. Hope is hard. To give people hope that tomorrow is going to be a good day, it is not an easy thing. And it starts with you. It starts with your mindset. Control your morning. Please get up. If I can yell it, I would yell it. Get up. Go to bed early. Wake up early. Work on your plan. You should have every morning a project you want to work on. I don't care if it's your CRM. I don't care if it's your postcard or if it's your video. Have a project you're going to work on so that when the day ends, you feel good about yourself. You got something done. And when you check it off, you go, okay, I had a productive day today. Worst thing that can happen to a realtor is to not have a productive day. So let me ask you this. Can I ask you to write down the time for you to wake up in the morning that is healthy for you? Decide right now what is the perfect, no, sorry, to go to bed. Can I ask you to write down the best time that is healthy for you to go to bed? Now, for me, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock. I don't have a life. So that's when I go to bed because I wake up very early. You guys don't have to do that, but I'm saying you should dictate what time you go to bed. Write that down. Next thing I want you to write the healthiest time for you in the morning to wake up. Some of you should continue with your good habit of waking up at 6. Some of you at 5:30. Now, I know you used to go to the gym to work out. Maybe you find a YouTube video and you work out in your living room. Why not? You can find a way to adapt, but you got to wake up. If you find yourself waking up at 8, 9, 10 o'clock, you are depressed. You need to call a friend immediately because you're not happy. Do me a favor. Let's do this right now. I want you to write 2 to 3 good habits you could do in the morning when you wake up that do not involve TV, that do not involve real estate. They don't involve work. They are private. We call them me time, personal time. It could be reading your Bible. It could be walking your dog. It could be doing anything that you deem good for you. I want you to write 2 to 3 things right now. Could be very easy. Maybe preparing breakfast for your kids. Maybe reading the book that you've always wanted to read. Maybe doing your affirmation. Find 2 to 3 things you're going to do daily and write them right now. I'll give you a minute. Don't look for something profound. Look for something practical. Good. All right. So, smart agents who want to stick with their habit, they journal. They read daily, they journal daily, and they write about their fears, their anxiety, but also their insights. And they focus on sending messages of gratitude. Messages of gratitude are very important to your business. You need to be in touch with gratitude towards your clients. For example, these are a few books that I'm putting here. You can take a picture of them if you want. But I can give you an example. Let's say you wanted to, get you going with your negotiation skills. Maybe you're not as strong in your negotiation skills and you're not getting people to say yes to you. Maybe this book will be good for you. This book is called Yes by Robert Cialdini, called 50 Scientifically Proven Ways to Be Persuasive. Maybe some of you may want to go, I'm going to take on this book. It's going to help me with my negotiation skills because I'm not really strong there. Some of you may want to go, maybe right now your business is not really set up properly and you don't have good daily, you're not organized enough. Getting Things Done by David Allen may be the book for you. But like you can see, I have lots of book here. To be honest with you, you don't have to listen to me about books. You have George, you have Bernadette, they have libraries in the office. They will share with you books. They understand the power of feeding your mind. But I want to talk to you right now about your best skills. So I'm going to tell you 3 skills you already have that you sometimes forget you have and how you can use them. First, what makes you a great realtor is your listening ability. Your ability to listen with intention and taking notes. That is a skill you have. And therefore, we need to use this skill right now when people are freaking out. You should be the one who is listening to people. You're the Oprah of real estate. You know how to listen to people. So that's skill number 1. I'm going to tell you your other skill that you didn't know you had. It's called reframing. You know what it is. You just forgot the term for it. Reframing is listening so intently to someone and knowing what they said, validating them, and then saying it back to them in such a way that they hear themselves in a different way. And they go, yeah, that's right. That's one of your skills. Good agents have that skill. And you know what is your third skill? And some of you forget this one. Your third skill is called injection. What? Yes, injecting the name of the person you're talking to when you're engaging them is a third skill you have. So let me give you an example. Somebody's mic is open, so I don't know who that is. So let's say you're talking to someone. You would say something like this. So if I'm hearing you right, Jim, we're going to wait until your supervisors give you your new schedule before we decide what properties to look at. Did I get it right? He goes, yes. I say, great. I got it. Let me write that down. That would be on our to-do list. Let's now work on getting you qualified for a loan. Let's work on that right now. So notice, reframing is saying something that was important to your client in a different way so they can get that you got them. Well, guess what, guys? Right now, those skills are needed. You can use those skills right now to get people to interact with you. Engage. So I'm going to tell you to do this daily. You need to spend 2 hours of phone calls daily. Please, 2 hours daily. I'm going to give you my formula, but I'm sure Bernadette and George have their own. I'm going to share with you mine, and then you decide how you want to do yours. Here's how I want it to work. I want you to do 35 minutes, just about 35 minutes of new business and follow-up. So for 35 minutes, you put in front of you your script and you do 35 minutes of follow-up and new business. So that would be 35 minutes. Then I want you to take a break. Yes, I need you to take at least a 10, even 15-minute break. And during that break, if you want to be distracted by social media, that's okay. When the break is over, I want you to do 35 minutes of sphere of influence and referral business. You put another script in front of you and you spend 35 minutes dialing people who are in your sphere or referral business. And all you have to say is, how are you? We live in interesting time. What's going on with you? Talk to me. Tell me what's going on. What's happening? And now imagine if you had next to you a document of all of the resources that are happening locally in your area. Now you have something of value to share with them. Then I want you to take 10, 15-minute break. And then I want you to do 35 minutes of lead generation, actually following up on your leads, lead generation, the people who registered on your website, work in that business, new business, work on that. If you could do this daily, first of all, the muscle that you developed over the years will continue to be strong. You will not be weak anymore, and you will stay sharp. I'm afraid some of you are going to lose that sharpness that you have. You don't want to do that. You don't want it to atrophy. Remember, a muscle you don't use atrophies. So daily, I hope some of you will take me up on this. Some of you said, I don't have 2 hours. Well, do an hour. Do 30 minutes and 30 minutes. Do something. Don't do nothing. Now, some of you forgot sometimes the 4 phases of a phone call. I'm going to remind you of them. Some of you just make the fun and call people. Don't do that. There are 4 phases to a phone call. Let's remember what they are. What was the first one, guys? Remember, the first one is getting ready for the phone call. We call that the ringing the prospect, with the preparation, with a smile, with the script in front of you, with follow-up questions. So you have your script, you have your follow-up questions. Now you're ready. We call that the preparation stage, or getting ready to ring the prospect. So that's stage 1. Stage 2 of making a phone call is the reason. Why are you calling that person? Here's the good news. Right now, you have lots of reasons. People are at home. They're not working. Most of them will take your call or will call you back. So now you have a reason to call them. So all you have to say is, how are you? What's going on? It could be a past client. All you have to say is, how are you? What's going on? So that's the reason. The third one, and you know it, is the ask. We always ask for business. Now, we may not ask for business directly right now. We may have to ask it kind of in a sort of kind of way. You may go something like this. Hey, do you know anybody who is worried about their mortgage, about their home, do you know anybody who needs help in that area? See, if you ask them that question, do you know anybody who's worried about their mortgage, their payment, their rent? You know what they're thinking? I am worried about it. And guess what? They may start telling you about what they're worried about. So you're asking for business in an indirect way. And remember, they will remember you for being the calm one. We call that the ask. And if you remember the last one, guys, who've been in my classes, you know what it is. Validation. We always validate. What is validation? Is you hearing them loudly and repeating it or talking about it or validating what they said before you go to the next questions. Sometimes our agents become FBI agents. They ask a question, then they ask another question, then they ask another question. No, ask a question, let them respond, absorb it, and then ask another question. Those are the 4 ways to stay connected on a phone call. Before I end to my last slide, right now I want all of you to learn how to use Zoom. Zoom has a free feature that allows you to do something like this. It allows you to do what's called video conferencing. Zoom has 4 panels. One of them is the free one, and it allows you to connect up to 100 connections. Well, most of you are going to be working in groups of 3 or 4. So let's say you were success partners and you cannot see each other in the office. Well, guess what? Do a Zoom call and each one of you pop in. But here's what I want you to do. Go to zoom.us, which is the same as zoom.com. Sign up, get your free account. You will notice on the right, they have a section called Learn to Use Zoom or Support. Learn to use it and start collaborating. Remember that idea I talked about earlier called put together a task force, get together, somebody works on what renters need, somebody works on what HUD is going to offer, somebody tries to understand what is in the 2 trillion passage that is happening right now. If you can start putting out all these phone numbers, if you lose your job, where do you go for unemployment? If you do this, if you cannot pay your mortgage, who do you call? If you can start doing that and you have those ready for you, guess what? When you're calling people, you have an item of value. You now become valuable, but you also become a solution. So I want all of you to learn how to use soon. And the last thing I want to add is this one. Success is connected to your actions. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. They keep moving forward. Let me open the mic to Bernadette and, of course, George. I'd love to hear from George as well. Bernadette, share with us some of the ideas. I'm sure you had, I saw you writing, so I knew you had ideas. So share with us some of your thoughts.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ideas on ways to like kind of interact with your client base, like on Facebook and like through social media. Some of the things that we talked about was doing a sidewalk chalk contest on a specific day. You can mail something out to the entire neighborhood, give them a day, tell them to decorate their driveways, and then, you know, with social distancing, a lot of people are getting out, they're walking the neighborhood. You can even go out and judge it and offer a reward for the neighbor that has the best sidewalk chalk positive message or design. You could encourage them to do either both and maybe even have a reward for, you know, either. And we talked about doing like, people are looking for things to do with their kids. So again, you could do this as something that you mail out. You can create so much stuff online and just have it automatically sent out. Or you can do it through your social media, but you can do an essay contest. You can do an art contest. Now you're giving your clients something to do with their kids. Sharing ideas, like I think Anna was on here. Anna's sharing. Anna loves to garden. It's a passion of hers. So she's sharing and talking about right now what families can be doing to plant a garden outside. And again, you can order stuff on Amazon to do that, but it gets people outside. You can do a series on giving families ideas and ways to connect. People are looking for things to entertain their kids. I've heard of doing virtual movie parties. You can do that with, you can do it with Zoom. You can like, yeah. So there's so many different ways. We have an opportunity here to be the light and be positive. And like he said, everybody's hearing so much negativity and doom and gloom. We can counter that with hope and with the positive things that are coming out of this. In every situation, there's always something that you can look forward to. And I remember like when we lived in Japan, I remember that I would meet people that were like, oh, I hate it here. I just want to go home and I miss my family. And they would focus on that. And there were so many of us that were like, oh my gosh, this is an opportunity to expose our kids to another culture. There's festivals, and like I found so many things to do like with my kids, and it was like we were on a vacation. We were in a tropical environment for 3 years on a tropical island surrounded by beaches. It's like we were in the same place, but we're viewing it differently. So let's be the group that shows like that there are things that we can do. We can be really strengthening our family and our relationships during this time. We can be building with our kids and having quality time that sometimes the 9 to 5 or the job that we're doing takes away from that. We can be focused on our business and what's coming and like sharing all these positive, amazing things. There are so many people out there, like Key, you were sharing all these things like in our local community, there are places that people can pick up food. There are hours that are set aside for our seniors. And I know just a lot of seniors are not going online and don't know that there's delivery service. And so they're worried about going out. Like we can help. And how about we just check on the seniors that we know? Just there's so many things. I can go on and on and on, and I'll continue to share in our Facebook forum the different ideas, but this is great. And I love that not only can we do that, but we can also focus on getting back into those good habits. Um, and Key, I love that you didn't just focus on business, that you also focused on like setting up the habits that have to deal with our mindset. We are being bombarded right now with so much negativity that we need to make sure that we are starting our day with a positive mindset. So whether that is a gratitude journal during this time, affirmations, meditation, prayer, reading scripture, just reading anything at all that's going to fill you up with positivity. This, more than any other time, it's important, and it will reflect the rest of your day. So definitely prepare in the morning, and um, just fill yourself up until your cup is running over, that you can't help but spill that on everybody that
On
you talk
everybody else.
to.
Correct.
Yes, that you communicate with in that day. So, and I'm not going to keep running my mouth because I know George probably has something he wants to
I'd
share
love to
too.
hear from George. George, if you
Yes.
can unmute your mic and share with us your thoughts. I'd love to. We're trying to get agents to go back to good routines, but it's difficult right now because you can't come to the office sometimes, but you want to maintain those good habits you've learned. So share with us your thoughts, George.
All right. Hey, Bernadette. Hey, Key, everybody. Everything Bernadette said, we did a COVID-19 call on Wednesday, and we gave updates, and most of the stuff she was sharing, we shared. But the food pantries, like right now, we have money. Well, we have products out there that I have to deliver to a school because some of the children, their parents are going through hardships. You definitely want to find out what kind of contribution you can give toward the children and getting these lunches. Some of these children actually need that. Some of the families actually need that. So we're focused on filling up the pantry. So I'm the delivery guy for that right now. And the elderly, like Bernadette was saying, you definitely want to check on the elderly. If you can go out and volunteer and do something like that, if it's allowed, and get that done. But mindset is something that I focus on a lot. I focus on mindset a lot. This is a time to reflect, to read, to pick up a book that you didn't pick up. This is a time to actually get rid of a bad habit, as we were saying, and pick up a good habit. Try to get up earlier. Like I believe you said, if you're sleeping at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, there's something wrong. I can't sleep. I can go to bed at 1 and can't sleep past 6. So, but I normally get up at 4. So I agree with you. So prayer in the morning, meditation, your affirmations, reading, writing is important. I do a lot of writing. It's important. So I would say pick up those habits. Find a part of you that has not, that you're not strong at, and build that during this time. It might be picking up the phone, talking to somebody. That might be your weakest point, and that is a lot of people's weakest point: prospecting and cold calling. So this is a time to build that up, to take advantage of that and build it up, because we have a class here where we do them twice a month on Wednesdays when we do it, and you have to come to class with 2 things: a cell phone that has to be fully charged, and that night you're calling people in that cell phone. So I mean, it's breaking that fear. So I would say take advantage of this time to memorize your scripts, to see where you're weak at, and definitely develop yourself. And as you develop yourself, you got to help other people as well. So that's all I have. But everything Bernadette said was spot on. And
Well,
thank you.
oh, you're welcome. Thank you all. Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you, George. I know you guys need to go back to your lives, but we're here for you. We're not quitting. I'm not quitting. They're not quitting. Exit is not quitting. We're moving
Oh,
forward. We're going
yeah.
to get this done. We're
Right.
going to get the listing. We're not going to be the company that is waiting for a handout. We're going to go out there and get it done. The spring is going to be here. There will be listings, and I want them to be exit listings. That's what
That's
makes me
right.
happy.
That's right. Make us happy.
Make you happy. Do it for me. Don't do it for Bernadette. Get listings for me. Just make me happy. That's what makes me happy. I love being with all of you, and I will see you guys at the training somewhere.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Keith.
Take
All
care.
right, Bernadette. Take care.
All right, thank you. Thank you guys for all being on today.